welcome back to my channel. Guess who's back? It's Blonde Me.
Guess who's back, back again.
Alright, so I know this may come as a shock to some of you if you don't follow me on any social media, but yes, I did chop my hair off once again, and I did bleach it blonde again. Alright, I'm going to give the whole backstory, what I did, how I did it, where I went, and all that jazz right now so you guys can have the full, in-depth, detailed description of everything. So basically, I went to my local Aveda. That is where I go for all my hair appointments. No, this is not sponsored by Aveda, but I do love them as a company. They have great salons. I've never had a problem. All of the hair people there know exactly what they're doing. I'm sorry, I couldn't think of the word. What's the word for the stylists? All of their stylists there know exactly what they're doing. They always, all of them have great hair, by the way. That's how you know if you have a good stylist, if they have good hair and they can style their hair well. But anyways, I go there every time because I am extremely nervous about dyeing my hair out of a box. I know people who've done it and it's turned out disastrous. I also know people who've done it and it's turned out flawless. Like, there are so many videos on YouTube of people dyeing their hair and it looks great, but I am not that cautious. I'm not patient, and I feel like I would just get pissed off and just like throw everything and it would just be not good and my hair would just not be good. But I went to them and I went to her and I told her, okay, so you guys know I dyed my hair brown. That's my last video. I'll show it to you guys. Sorry if I'm playing with my hair. I'm not used to having these short again, but please just ignore that. But I dyed my hair brown. I loved it. I loved it for the first couple weeks that I was doing it. I loved it. It looked great. And then as you wash your hair, if you're blonde, you know this, your hair goes brassy really fast. And what I mean by brassy is it's kind of like coppery reddish tones, not like this. This is more of a whitish, kind of a honey blonde. Not brassy, like coppery. I don't like the way it looks. Some people love it, and if you love it, that rocks for you, but I hated it. So I went to her, I told her, I hate how brassy this is. I hate that it's two different colors. I did not like the way it was like reddish brown up here and then blonde down here. I was like, I don't like it. Please fix it. And I was like, I showed her a picture of Lauren Conrad's hair that I'll insert here. I told her I did not want the roots. I don't want the roots, but I do want her hair color. Like, it's kind of a bleachy, platinum-y blonde, but it's not too platinum because how pale I am is not gonna work with platinum blonde hair. So she was like, all right, perfect, we can do this. So it took me about, I'd say 2.5 hours being in the actual salon itself. And honestly, with how dark my hair was on top, I was really surprised that we didn't have to do 2 sessions. This was 1 session. And she was like, you know, we may have to do 2 sessions. It's not a big deal. You know, if we have to, we have to. We did not have to because I don't want to go any lighter than this. This was how light I wanted to go. And so what happened was, she basically just sat me down. We talked about what color I wanted. I asked her what her opinion was on it, and she said she thought it would look good. So we started. She used, I know on the top right here, to get the super dark part out, she used 40 developer, I want to say. I heard her telling the other girl to mix it, and I think it was 40. Don't quote me on that though. But I was really concerned because of how dark it was. And then, so she put it all on. She put me in the foils. I have a picture of that here. She put me in the foils, and then I sat there for I think about 20 minutes. I don't know, I was playing the Kim Kardashian game. But anyways, I sat there for like 20 minutes, and then another girl came back and she's like, okay, it's time for me to wash. So I washed it out, and then they put the toner on. So if you don't know what toner does, basically if you bleach your hair, which I did, which I was very nervous about, but if you bleach your hair, occasionally if you don't use the correct bleach base, like blue bleach, if you don't use it, your hair can turn yellow, orange, and that's not what I wanted. Some people, that is what they want, and if that's what they want, perfect, but it's not what I wanted. I wanted a bleach, like a white undertone. I didn't want like my hair to be white. And so she's like, okay, so basically what toner does is toner pulls out the yellow of your hair and it helps give it that white base. So if you tell your stylist, I want yellow blonde, like gold yellow blonde, they won't use toner on you. But if you tell them you want bleach blonde, they'll use toner on you, if that makes sense. So she put me in the toner. That stuff is so strong. I would say, like, be very careful, be wary of that. Just remember, if you're thinking about bleaching your hair, it's not a reason to not bleach your hair, but it smells extremely strong. Just know that before you go into it, because if you go into it thinking, oh yeah, they're just gonna bleach it, no, they're gonna tone it and it's gonna be strong. You have to sit there for about 10 minutes with it on your hair. It didn't really burn. Some people have like serious burning experiences. Mine didn't burn. It tingled a little bit in my scalp right here because of how like much compensation she had to put so much toner up here so it could pull everything out, but it wasn't like anything where it was uncomfortable or I couldn't move, like that it hurt. No, it was fine. And she gave me a little towel with peppermint on it so that the smell, because the smell was the worst part. It didn't hurt, it didn't burn. It was just that it smelled so strong, but that's all toner. It wasn't an issue with the toner being bad. That's just how toner is if you're gonna bleach your hair, just as a heads up so you know. And if you do bleach your hair at home, do get a toner. Don't leave out of that step if you don't want it to turn brassy. Like, that's the big point that I have to put in here, is if you don't want it to be brassy, use toner, because mine turned so brassy so quick and I didn't like that look on me. That was just a personal thing, but I love the way this turned out. There's a little bit of like darkness underneath here that she's gonna lighten up again next time, but as it is, I love it. I think it looks great, and I really hope that it doesn't get too brassy too quick. But I've been using a purple shampoo if you're worried about brassiness or your hair like fading, if you're like a brunette and you bleached it or something like that. Do invest in a purple shampoo. I know John Frieda sells one. Sally Hansen Beauty sells one. You can find them. Lush sells one. I've used Lush's. I've used Sally Hansen. I've used John Frieda. They're all great. They're all good to use. Just invest in one because it is good. It's good. I'd rather get a nice shampoo than have to constantly be dyeing my hair. And she said that, you know, I may get some damage from this, but so far it doesn't feel damaged. Like, sometimes when you get done with bleach, it's like, holy cow, my head feels gross. It doesn't feel gross. It's okay. Like, I think it's gonna be fine. I just yeah, I love it. And she just asked me about length, and before it was probably about to like here, and I just cut it off because I don't know, I loved the way it looked before, and I'm sure I'm gonna grow it out. I'm also thinking about getting some clip-in extensions because there are some days when I do want to have long hair, but I don't want to like commit to growing it out because I don't know, it was nice back then, but I think I like it better shorter. That's just a me thing. But I don't think I have any other recommendations. I would say the only other thing I would say, if you're gonna go in and get your hair bleached or dyed to blonde or dyed any color really, but especially bleach, bring a picture. No matter where you're going or if you're doing it yourself, have a picture of what you want it to look like so the person can know that's doing your hair. They can be like, okay, well, we don't want to do this, because there are so many shades of every hair color. And if you just go in and say, well, I want it bleach blonde, have bleach blonde. Do you want it platinum blonde? Do you want it honey blonde? Do you want it like golden blonde? Do you want it dirty blonde? Like, there's so many different shades of blonde that it's hard to differentiate, okay, do you want this kind or what do you want? So just keep that in mind if you are going to see a stylist, which I would seriously recommend. Like I said in my last video, seriously recommend that you go in and see a stylist who knows what they're doing. Not that you don't know what you're doing at all. Like, I'm not knocking any of you guys. Maybe some of you guys are your own, like maybe you guys are estheticians or something like that. And if you are, that's great. I would just say, you know, as a backup, remember that you should like think about that in case something does go wrong and you need to get it fixed. There are so many people on YouTube who've done it themselves, but if you want to do it yourself, go ahead. But my number one recommendation would be to go to a salon, and Aveda is a chain salon. So if you are thinking about getting your hair done and you're thinking about going to Aveda, I'll link down below where you can find your nearest one. Again, I'm not sponsored by them. I just really like their hair products, and they're always super nice, and they're not paying me, they're not giving me free haircuts, which if they want to, they can, but they're not. So yeah. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you have any bleaching hair questions down below, if you have any bleaching, blonde, brown hair questions, leave them down below. I will help you guys as much as I possibly can. Obviously, I don't know everything about this subject, but from the little I've done to my hair, I do know. So yeah, just let me know what you guys. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys like the new hairdo. I'm gonna get adjusted to it. So yeah, thank you guys again for watching, and I'll see you back here later.